Temperatures hovering right around the high 40s. Rain expected probably around halftime. And the 100th meeting between these two schools is underway as Will Hoyt's kick sails to the goal line where Drake Davis takes it. And Davis out to the 20, to the 25, to the 29-yard line. Nice return by Davis. Well, it's hard to believe this is our final weekend, but Buzz, you're looking sharp. After 14 tough weeks with us, you look good.
Guys, happy holidays to you and yours and all those watching at home. Who are the All-Tel players that we're going to be watching today? Glenn Holt for Kentucky, Cedric Houston for Tennessee. Which one of these players do you think will have the most impact to vote? Use your All-Tel wireless phone and send a text message to the number on your screen with a letter of the player you choose, or visit jpsports.com to vote online. The voting results coming up for you in the second half, Dave.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Raphael Little is your tailback, the true freshman. First play, though, through the air. Shane Boyd pass is complete to the fullback, Rock Johnson. He only gets maybe 2 yards on that play, 2.5. Well, here's our Chevy starting lineups this afternoon. Glenn Holt has had a solid season. Not a ton of yards, but, boy, he has got his hands around that football. You throw it his way, it will stick with number 4. That offensive line has, much like Tennessee, they've just kind of had to suck it up down the stretch here. They have been beat up. Matt McCutcheon, a guy that came to this program in the offseason, has kind of locked up that center spot. It was a big question mark for Kentucky, but he's played quite well this season. Little reverse. Here's Glenn Holt. He has a couple of blockers and a lot of green grass. Holt to the 40, down to the 35-yard line, and a little razzle-dazzle pays off for the Big Blue.
Yeah, Dave, that's what you have to do when you're an underdog. You just have to take a deep breath and let it all ride. Good reverse right here, back against, look at the blue shirts bailing out to the right. Now turn back and pick up. They pick up a great one. Even the quarterback got a block. Holt there coming downfield, picks up several good big blocks. That's what you need, big plays when you're the underdog.
A gain of 34 on the play for the junior. High formation, 1st and 10 at the 34. Pass caught far side, 28-yard line. Scott Mitchell on the reception, knocked out of bounds by Jonathan Wade. Well, our Chevy defensive lineup: Paris Harrelson, Justin Harrell, Jesse Mahalona, Carlton Neal. Mahalona back in the lineup. He did not start last week in Nashville. Turk McBride did, and Mahalona did not register a statistic last week, and you can expect him to have a big game this afternoon. That secondary, they have just tried all kinds of combinations out there. That might be the Achilles heel of this club right now. They need to seal up some spots in that secondary as they approach the championship game next weekend. Boyd's pass intended for Scott Mitchell and hit Mitchell before he made the turn.
When Scott Mitchell, this one almost stuck in his face mask. When he made his little turn to the outside, watch him here. Look at the ball. Bang, hits him right in the nose. You got to be looking back for that.
It's an early game. If he wasn't awake, he is now.
Well, Shane Boyd can wake you up. We know he's got a rocket for an arm.
A pitcher on the baseball team is Shane Boyd.
But Dave, a good start for Kentucky. They've moved the football. They've got some change. They got a little bit of life. They got to be a believer.
Handoff off the right side. Little stood up at the 27-yard line. Driven into the ground by Kevin Burnett. And that'll be a couple yards shy of the first down.
I asked Kevin Burnett, number 2, I said, what do you like about playing this game? He said, I like to play right up in their face. I like to play at the end. I like to take on those offensive linemen. That young man, he is all over the field. You see that? 9.1 tackles per game. That's when you're at the ball. You're making a lot of tackles.
Well, he had 90 total stops a year ago in 13 games, and after 10 games, he has 91, make that 92 after that last stop. 45-yard field goal on the way from Taylor Begley is good. Taylor Begley has a couple of 50-yarders this season, has plenty of leg, and split the upright, so not a bad start for the Big Blue. On the road, they lead it 3-0 over the Tennessee Volunteers. Back after this. Keep most people happy. Well, Kentucky opens up with a nice drive and puts a field goal on the board after a 45-yard field goal by Taylor Begley, but now Clint Ruth to kick it off. And down at the 1. Hefney takes that over the 20 to the 22-yard line. But that last Kentucky drive was highlighted by a nice 34-yard reverse to Glenn Holt that set up that field goal. And because they went 6 plays, 44 yards, and got the field goal, that means it's another successful drive. And $500 will be added to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver. On first down and 10, Rick Clausen under center. Handoff to the tailback, Gerald Riggs. It's maybe 2 or 3 on the play. Dennis Johnson makes the tackle. Our Chevy starting lineups for the Volunteers. Jason Swain had a nice 2-touchdown day in Nashville last weekend. Both of Clausen's touchdown passes went to him. Rob Smith, the only offensive lineman that has started every game. This has been a kind of a guess who's playing offensive line this week. But they are having to go without Mike Munoz today. Has a bad shoulder. That pass incomplete. Jason Swain, the intended target. And Dave, when you talk about that offensive line, how tough is it really for a coach to get ready for not only this game but the championship game, and you don't have all the pieces together?
Well, it is really tough because you're moving people back and forth along the line. It's different combinations. Coaches always talk about chemistry. There's no chemistry when you're making wholesale changes, Dave.
And there is Michael Munoz. Already missed the South Carolina game after suffering concussion. Now has a bad shoulder that occurred when he just fell awkwardly in Nashville last week. Clausen to throw. The left-hander hits his target out to the 35, maybe 36-yard line, and that will be a first down for Tennessee, a gain of 11. And here's our Chevy defensive lineup. Vincent Sweet Pea Burns trying to pick up some numbers. He only has 23 total tackles. Last year he had 72. And in the secondary, getting somewhat healthy. A couple of weeks ago, they finished with 1 healthy cornerback on the entire team. But they've gotten some players back. And there's Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator in his second year at Kentucky. Boy, I tell you what, Dave, I'd take him on my staff any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Hand off to the tailback, Cedric Houston.
And Dave, there are a lot of tendencies, as we saw Mike Archer there writing down. What he's doing is he's writing down the tendencies that Tennessee has. They know when they go 3 wide outs that they run that play up the middle. They run that lead draw to the fullback right there, and it's a strong tendency. He said, we are going to stop the run today. We may not stop the pass, but I can promise you Mike Archer, defensive coordinator, says we're going to stop the run. And that's a task.
Tennessee averaging about 175 yards a game on the ground. That pass is dropped near midfield. Crowd wanted a flag. Brett Smith was the intended receiver. Irvin Flowers, number 32 for Kentucky, in on the coverage.
Well, I thought Flowers came over top. Right of your screen, you're going to see number 32 come over top. But he gets there just as the ball got there, and he got that arm in there. That was a good play. Nice delivery by Clausen, sitting back there. Got to come up with that one. That's a very catchable ball. But compliment Irvin Flowers. He ripped the hands apart, pulled the ball out.
Flowers, the senior out of Temple, Texas. Now Tennessee looks at a 3rd and 6, 4 receiver set. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom.
Got to get pressure. Got to get pressure.
Bad snap. Clausen picks it up. Fires. Passes caught at midfield. A missed tackle affords Tennessee the opportunity to move the chains. Irvin Flowers missed the stop. Or Antoine Huffman missed the tackle. Irvin Flowers.
And Dave, they came with pressure. They came with pressure. You see right there. There's the pressure, but he gets picked up. You got to compliment him. And then a missed tackle right there. Huffman misses the tackle. Again, good protection up front. They picked up the blitzers. Now, that's a nice catch. Back behind you, behind your leg. Good concentration right there by Smith.
Hand off to Houston, gets a couple of yards. Boy, Cedric Houston going out with a bang, to say the least. I mean, he is trying to lead this team in rushing for the 3rd straight year. He's now 6th all-time in rushing, and he has quietly done that. I mean, and you talk about some of the guys. Think about some of the guys that have carried the football here. I mean, it's truly amazing what he's been able to accomplish. But he's trying to become the first guy to lead the team in rushing for 3 years since Kurt Watson did it way back in, I believe it was the late 60s, early 70s. Pass is caught to the fullback. Anderson to the 35-yard line. He'll be 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the Balls.
Well, Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee, told us that he had to have Clausen look downfield, find his dumps. That time it's a dump out to the fullback on that play. He comes off that primary receiver. He says he does that really well. Picks up that first receiver, goes to the second, comes and dumps it off there. That's the way you have to go. You have to go through that rotation and find the open one. There's Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, Dave.
9th play of this drive that he has made the calls on. Here's Houston. Breaks a couple of tackles and dives forward for the first down. Coaches told us that they really felt Cedric Houston had one of his best games. Even though Riggs had almost 150 yards, Houston had a great game last week.
Absolutely, and this is just second effort. He was stopped short of that. Houston was stopped before about the 35-yard line, but he made 3 yards after the contact. That's what you want out of your running back.
You see Riggs there. He ran for 149, career high last week. Houston added 97. And a dominating running game performance. 1st and 10. Here's Houston. Big hole off the right side, down to the 23-yard line. Brought down by Darrell White. Gain of 5.
And Dave, you think right away, when you look at Cedric Houston, you think of speed, or size, I should say. But look at this. When he sees that hole, good block here, good turnout there. Now there's his hole. Watch him accelerate through there. Rips through a couple arm tackles.
Give him 10 on that carry.
Yeah.
5 plus 5 is what I wanted to say. 1st down and 10.
Did you see that great acceleration?
And this is a check with me, as they call it at Tennessee. Clausen sees something, looks to his coordinator, Randy Sanders.
Saw pressure coming. That's what he saw.
Off the left side this time. Houston met. Gain of a couple on the play. Big hit from Dennis Johnson, the junior out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. His 3rd tackle already this afternoon.
Boy, Dennis Johnson, 34, is going to come up there and fill that hole. Watch this contact. That's what you got to do. Helmet comes off. You forget about that. Nice hit.
Tennessee in the red zone, 4th in the SEC, that 85% mark. They've only been in the red zone 27 times, which is the 2nd fewest in the SEC. Clausen fires to the corner of the end zone. Down to the 6-inch line goes Tony Brown. Muhammad Abdullah on the coverage, and if he just sticks the ball out, turns the other way, it might be 6.
Dave, you think of a 3rd-team quarterback throwing this. Watch 81 Brown. Turns now. He's got the corner. Look at that ball. Perfectly placed. When he comes off there, Clausen just lays it up. He's the only one that's going to catch it. That is just a perfectly thrown ball. We look at it at Tony Brown, and he's a great receiver, but I'll tell you one thing, Clausen is the one that surprises me. 3rd-team quarterback, you just don't see that.
Quarterback sneak by Clausen. Touchdown, Tennessee. His first rushing touchdown this season. And Tennessee takes a 6-3 lead.
Again, big lineman up front, just smash mouth, drive him off right there. You know, it's nothing fancy. Quickest way is to get there. And Clausen is a big target. He's about 6'3", about 210, 215 pounds. And he got that center back. Remember, Jason Respert's been gone. He got Jason Respert back. That really helped him, number 63.
Will Hoyt in for the point after. It is up, and it is good. So Tennessee marches at 78 yards. Tennessee leads 7-3. Back after a word from your local stations. Will get credit for his first rushing touchdown. James Wilhoit to kick it off, the sophomore from Hendersonville, Tennessee. High kick that will sail down to about the 5-yard line, and that is where Drake Davis will take it. Davis has plenty of room, but flags come flying all over the place. Nice return, but something tells me that will come back.
I think at least 3 referees saw that.
There's Penn Wagers, our referee today, the man in charge.
Boy, they came flying. Every one of them flew right towards the middle.
So that will back Kentucky up after the nice return by Davis. Kentucky.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 88 on the receiving team. Penalty, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Kentucky, the 7th most penalized team in the league. And speaking of penalties, our lead violator, Dave Baker.
Thank you very much. Dave, whenever the ball scored, lots of enthusiasm. But nowhere is that more evident than Trooper Taylor, first-year running backs coach here at Tennessee. Philip Fulmer talked about the fact that so many of these guys have been together for a long period of time. He was looking for somebody with enthusiasm. Well, you can really see the enthusiasm when Trooper gets guys coming off the field. And as the kids say, Dave, as you can see, he's got some hops.
Yeah, he looked pretty athletic, does Trooper. Here's to the play to the fullback, Rock Johnson, tripped up. And Buzz, you know, I mean, it's not exactly safe either. As Trooper's been knocked around a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's actually gotten a couple of broken bones. They thought he broke a rib. They had him on the injury report for the Florida game. And the other thing that Philip Fulmer said, Dave, was, you know, when I interviewed the guy, Grant Taft told me about him. He said, I wondered whether he was just like this during the interview. And he goes, man, he is like that at 6 in the morning or midnight.
Coach Fulmer said he needed maybe a little bit more energy, you know, from his coaching staff, and he certainly has gotten it out of Trooper.
My kind of coach. You coach this game with enthusiasm.
Flag down as Boyd throws. Pass complete to Holt to the 20. That should be good enough for a first down if it holds up.
And Dave, it's an interesting offensive attack that right now that Kentucky is doing. Little short passes, little dumps, catch him off guard, see if they can get him in a reverse. Those type of things. Motion's going to take it back. Look at Rich Brooks. What are you talking about? It was a two-yard pass. Well, you don't want to take this ball back inside the 5-yard line.
Number 88 on the offense was not on the line of scrimmage nor in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Down remains second.
Take a look at our Hummer scoreboard. LSU pounds Arkansas yesterday in Little Rock, and Arkansas fails to become bowl eligible with that loss. Now, today, Maryland on top of Wake Forest 7-0, and Memphis leading South Florida 16-zip that game in the third quarter. Well, second down and 8. Ball sits at the 10-yard line. Inside handoff goes to Tony Dixon, who's seeing some action today. He's missed 3 games with a bad ankle.
Good play selection right there. A little misdirection. Take it one way, come back against the grain, look for the seam. When you come back as Tony Dixon came back, you know, he's been nicked and bruised all year long, Dave, and good to see him back playing hard.
Well, what they've done is just decided midway through the season, settled on the fact that Tony Dixon and Raphael Little were guys that were going to be getting the carries down the road, and let's see what they got. And well, they've proven that they can play in this league.
Absolutely.
And I think Penn Wager's down talking to Shane Boyd. Looks like Kevin Burnett trying to tell these guys to calm down a little bit. There's been a few plays where we've had some pushing and shoving, and Penn trying to clean that up right now, and certainly with the way things are going in the world of athletics, college and pro, it's not a bad idea.
Oh, I like it. I used to love when the officials would talk to you during the game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. I really did. Because you'd say, that guy's holding me. All right, I'll keep an eye on him. I'm watching him, but don't you give him this and don't you do this. I like officials like that. Keep the game interesting. But that's a good thing right there. You just bring them in there. You bring captains in and say, hey, look, calm down. I don't want any extracurricular activity.
5 minutes, 12 seconds.
We'll reset the clock to 5 minutes and 12 seconds. See Jason Allen. He is going to be on a lot of people's all-star teams when they start adding up all the votes. He has had a remarkable season. Leads this team and the SEC in tackles. 10.2 tackles per game. Moved over from his corner spot to play one of the safety roles. Now 3rd and short. Handoff off guard, and that should be good enough for the first down. It was about the 18.5 where the marker was. It looks like he's at the 19.5, goes Arliss Beach.
And what made that play work is that Matt Huff, number 761, came across there and got that little kick-out block there. It was a little trap play, came right behind him and picked up the first down. They needed 2 yards. They got it. They get out of trouble. And if you're John Chavis, you're saying, hey, we want to stop him. We want the ball back for our offense. He has got a powerful defensive line. They come off the ball in a hurry.
45 yards on the ground for Kentucky. Only came in averaging 108 per game. Boyd going up top, has a receiver, pass is caught at the Tennessee 40-yard line by Scott Mitchell. What a throw from Boyd, right on the mark.
Under pressure, I'm talking about he had Harrell coming down his throat. And Shane Boyd just looks back there. Watch this pressure right here. Right there. He doesn't see the completion, but he throws a perfect pass. Just catches Scott Mitchell just right off the line. Look at Mitchell's separation. He uses that speed. Gets great separation right there. Excellent play.
Gain of 41. And remember last week, Vanderbilt hit Tennessee for a couple of big plays.
Boy, and Kentucky is moving the ball on Tennessee.
There's the freshman Dixon out of Parrish, Alabama, brought down by Kevin Burnett.
When I like those quick hitting plays, they're tough on a defense because what happens is you just get into your block and you can't even get off your block and bang, that running back's already going by you. Quick hitters, that's the way you handle a line like Tennessee. You've got to match up, get in there, just lock them up.
Burnett had a 16-tackle game against Florida. That earned him SEC Player of the Week honors. He's had some big ones here at Tennessee. So 2nd down and 6. Flags are down. Mitchell makes the catch, but got back to the line of scrimmage.
That may be an illegal formation. 2 players came out in the flat and really made a mistake. There was one of them made a mistake on the play. See if it's not an illegal formation. Little came out and Scott Mitchell. Both of them came out in motion.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men were moving. The team never got set for 1 second. That penalty has been declined. 3rd down.
Thank you, Penn. Well, our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game takes a look at Tennessee's results in the SEC championship game as they will make their 4th appearance next week in Atlanta. The first 2 trips were pretty eventful. They beat Auburn by 1 and Mississippi State by 10, but then were somewhat shocked by LSU 31-20. And Matt Mock, well, we got to know his game quite well after that contest. Pass incomplete, intended for Glenn Holt. And that'll bring up a 4th down, but a flag in the backfield, however, right where Boyd was.
Oh, and I think they hit the quarterback late. Oh, if that is, that's a foolish penalty right there. You get pressure, it's a quick out, and Holt drops it. So you luck out there, and then all of a sudden you get one of the defensive linemen take a late hit. That will make John Chavis happy.
Roughing the passer. Number 35 on the defense. More than 2 steps to the passer. Penalty results in 15 yards. 1st down.
First penalty today against Tennessee.
Let's see if we can see Jason Mitchell. Oh, yeah, 2 steps. That's what they called 2 steps after. It was close, though.
I mean, like he was flying in the air. And he was in the air.
I'm trying to be a defense. I'm trying to be fair. The fans didn't like it either. They looked up and saw it and they said, wait a minute. That's a surprise. 100,000 of them here.
That was a big penalty as it sets up 1st down and 10. Ball at the 20. Off the right side goes Boyd. Bounces around to the 16-yard line. Kevin Burnett makes his 4th stop of the afternoon. Gain of 5 for the senior quarterback out of Lexington, Kentucky.
And Dave, if Kentucky is going to have a chance in this game, number 7 is going to have to run the football because he is quite a threat to run the ball. He's big. He's about 6'2", about 225, 230. He's got good vision. He can scamper up through there when that defense puts pressure on you.
See the red zone offense for Kentucky. They're 10th in the league. 13 touchdowns, 5 field goals. This is the 8th play of this drive. And false start in the backfield. And Raphael Little knew it. Got a little head start. And they'll back him up 5 and bring up 2nd down and 10 now.
And boy, those kind of mistakes really eat you alive. You see Rich Brooks looking at him. He's telling him to concentrate. He was not even involved in the play. It's a quick little dart outside. And boy, you talk about frustration. That will bring it out on a coach. You're not even involved in the play and you make the mistake.
Illegal motion on the offense. Back was moving forward at the snap. Penalty, 5 yards. Down remains 2nd.
What do you think about the play calling situation?
I like the play calling. I think it's good. I think they mixed up that reverse early. They've thrown a lot of short passes. Shane Boyd's using that arm. He's got to have his receivers come up. Paul Dunn, the offensive coordinator, good running game too. They've made some splits. They've gotten some yards.
Yeah, Joker Fultz combined for the coordinator role this week. Boyd lofts it up. Wide open. Touchdown, Kentucky. Jacob Tammy, the freshman out of Danville, Kentucky. It goes 20 yards, and it's 9-7. The Wildcats.
You talk about broken coverage. Tammy comes off the line, and I mean, there's nobody. It's right at your screen. Look at this. All of a sudden, Shane Boyd says, just go. Look at this. Nobody around him. Not a soul. Again, watch this. Under pressure, just go. Throw it up. Look at it. Nobody. That's broken coverage. How about Tammy coming up with one? Kentucky has come to play, Dave.
They came in averaging just 14 points a game and are looking for number 10 right here. Their 14 points a game is 12th in the league, 115th in the country. But right now, they look like they could play with anybody to this point. 10-7 Wildcats. Kentucky leading by 3 as Clint Ruth set to kick it off for the Wildcats. Jonathan Hefney takes it inside the 5. He's out to the 20 and hit at the 22-yard line. And Buzz, you know, there were a lot of questions about how this offense would shape up without Ron Hudson, who resigned, but so far it seems that everything's clicking.
So far, so good, Dave, as is concerned with Brooks and Dunn and Joker. Rich Brooks has been through this before. When he was the defensive coordinator with the Atlanta Falcons, Dan Reeves suffered his heart attack, so there were some play calls sharing there. And then when Brooks was at Oregon, he said that one year, the final 3 games of the season, somebody called the offense, at least in terms of runs, somebody called the passes, and we heard Randy Sanders say yesterday that they had 150 passes in the system when they were using everything, so it makes some sense. And at least right now for the Wildcats, it's working well.
Here's Clausen, rolls out. Wide open fullback, David Holbert, freshman out of Nashville, Tennessee. You know, and that was the thing that, to follow up on that, Buzz, that was the thing that Philip Fulmer told us yesterday. I asked him, you know, what's your biggest concern about this? And he says, really, it's the unknown. Without Ron Hudson, we don't know what their philosophy will be on certain down and distance situations, and so it's hard for us to game plan. Now, we know the kind of style of offense they want to run, but it makes it tough in certain situations.
Well, you have a different philosophy. You have a different coach's thoughts. In 3rd down and 1, he wants to go to one play. His offensive coordinator will tell him to go to another play. So it is a little bit changing, but they won't change the plays themselves.
Here's a little reverse and didn't go for much. Chris Hannon dropped, might have lost a yard. As Kentucky's defense stays at home, Darrell White, one of those players, along with Sweet Pete Burns.
Yeah, there's Burns right there. Look at that. Stay there. That's a reverse. That's the way you play a reverse. A reverse is designed. There he comes off the ball. He's going to get up in here. Now, a reverse is designed to take advantage of a team that overplays. That's what Tennessee did in that first series. They overplayed the ball. You come back with the reverse. It's easy for me to say. But Sweet Pea stayed home, played his key, made a big play.
Clausen. Pass intended for Holbert behind his receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation. Take a look at some scores on our Hummer scoreboard. Maryland over Wake Forest by a touchdown in the 2nd. And Memphis over South Florida 16-0, just getting underway. The Pirates in the Wolfpack. John Thompson, the head coach at East Carolina, by the way, stepping down after this week's festivities. And his name's surfacing among some that might resurface with Coach Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, he was his defensive coordinator in Florida. And Who knows? But Dave, back to this game here. Kentucky, if they want to stay in this football game, they've got to score when they get opportunities. And this is a good opportunity. They're going to get the ball in good field position. Now they got to do something with it.
Punt fielded by Raphael Little out to the 45-yard line. So good field position by the Wildcats. A 33-yard kick, 4-yard return. Certainly a lot of things going on in the Southeastern Conference this past week as Lou Holtz officially steps down and Steve Spurrier takes over that job. And we will talk to the athletic director in South Carolina, Dr. Mike McGee, in the second half. Get his thoughts on exactly how that all happened, what the future looks like, and also some other things going on around the league. Look at David Green. He's chasing some SEC marks. Boyd hit as he throws. Intended. Pressure came from Turk McBride. And I'll bring up 2nd down and 10. You see David Green 18 yards side from the SEC career mark there. And Ali Broussard busted on the scene. 250 yards last week, not yesterday, against Ole Miss. And Cadillac Williams ties the school record with 45 touchdowns. And the man who he equaled, Mr. Bo Jackson.
Yeah, that's pretty good
company.
Yes, sir.
Boyd will drop into the shotgun. Will keep it off the right side. Boyd to midfield and into Tennessee territory. They will mark it at the 49-yard line. Kevin Burnett makes the tackle, a gain of 6. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
And Dave, if you can get Shane Boyd outside there, we know he's got the speed, pick up 6-7 yards. That makes that 3rd down play a lot easier to call, because now you're looking at 3rd and maybe 3-4 yards instead of 3rd and 10. He's thrown that short pass with a lot of authority. Look at Holt there. Holt standing right next to him.
3rd down today for Kentucky. 1 of 3.
Comes an audible on the line. Call timeout.
Shane Boyd will call a timeout. And 3 seconds on the game clock. So big 3rd down coming up for Kentucky, but we'll step aside after these messages from the University of Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yeah, you're right, Buzz. Horrible timeout.
Still 3rd and 4. Little option play. Tennessee misses a tackle as Drake Davis uses his quick feet. They'll spot it at the 45, and flags come in late.
Wow, what a mark.
Well, if that's where they mark it, the 1st down is at the 45.
I'm wondering if there was a face mask on the play. They're going to have to measure it. Might have been Burnett coming in there. But he stretched at the last second and got that ball. The official right there made that call. And he saw exactly where the spot was. He jumped over top of somebody to mark that spot, Dave.
Well, here comes the chains, and we will see for sure in a matter of seconds.
Watch the ball. Where's the plane of the ball? Right? You're going to see him reach out right there. Oh, yeah. See how he reached it out?
To me, that looked like that was shy of the mark, but they will give him the 1st down.
Well, it's those little things that Kentucky needs. You know, on second thought, Dave, I don't think I saw a flag. I thought I saw one, but I don't believe now.
Well, that's the end of the 1st quarter, and Kentucky leads it by 3. The 100th meeting between Kentucky and Tennessee.
And Dave, if you're Kentucky, just keep on doing what you're doing. Little short passes, running game, pitch it outside, get the corner. It's working.
Arliss Beach brought down by Tony McDaniel. Gatorade 1st quarter stats. How about that? Yeah. 64 yards rushing. Kentucky came in averaging only 108 per game, throwing for 76 yards. And they've had the time of possession in their favor as well.
You see the bottom stat, Dave, 8.8 yards per play. That's remarkable.
2nd down and 8. Boyd pump fakes again. Fires, see the great arm. Pass is caught by Mitchell as he's popped. delivered Boulware, but did you see the rope that Shane Boyd delivered?
Absolutely. In between coverage, he had help deep, he had help short, and I mean, Boyd just threw it right where it needed to be thrown. Little pump fake there. Now, find the coverage. You look at the, see the safety coming over there. Safety's coming over to help. That's too deep coverage. You just cannot throw a ball any better than that. Shane Boyd is on. He's hot, and that's the only thing that's going to do is lift his spirits. And how about Mitchell?
Mitchell, 21 receptions coming into today, second on the team to Glenn Holt. Here's Beach off the right side, makes a defender miss. Beach down to the 12-yard line. Nice move to free himself up and pick up the first down, and he gains 12.
He gained about 8 yards after he made that little fake on the backer. That was Omar Gaither, number 44, who comes up there, and he just gives him that little short leg, takes the back, and runs outside. Big yardage. Kentucky moving the ball. I just did not expect to see them move the ball this well against Tennessee.
Well, Vandy exposed Tennessee to the tune of 33 points last week and shocked a few folks, but you know, John Chavis told us that he got mediocre play out of most of his defenders last week at best. Boyd hit as he throws. Pass is incomplete, looking for Glenn Holt. There comes some pressure. Jason Mitchell came on a blitz.
Jason Mitchell, the middle linebacker, is going to get right in his face. Watch how fast. This is just a three-step drop. Now, look at that. Mitchell is right on top of him.
That didn't take very long, did it?
You talk about a seam. Man. You see the sack defense of Tennessee. A lot of those by their front line. Their front line, man, they
22 of 30 sacks by his front four.
John Chavis loves that. He says, we just let them go wild. But they've got to get in situations to get those sacks. Third and long, not first and 10.
Eighth play of this drive coming up. Third, second down and 10. Pass batted in the air, incomplete. Glenn Holt was the intended target. Jason Allen tried to make a break on the ball, but once again, it was Jason Mitchell getting some pressure on Boyd.
Yeah, a little roll right out here. You're going to see the pressure right there, and Boyd just stiff arms. When you tip a ball up like that, I want to tell you something. That is really dangerous. When that ball goes that high, look at the defenders running back for it. All of them yell fire. Again, just everybody running to the football trying to get there. You can see right there, number 18, Jason Allen, thought he had another one.
Buzz, what do you got?
Pressure. John Chavis says he can't play it with a secondary, but it's worked on these two plays so far, Dave.
Here's Boyd again. Here comes some more pressure. Pass is caught inside the 5 by Scott Mitchell. They will mark it at just at the 4-yard line. That's about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. And Kentucky will have to settle for a field goal opportunity.
Boy, that was a nice drive by Boyd. That's a tough throw. You roll to your left, throw back across, but he found him just wide open right across the middle, threw a nice little dart to him. And I'll tell you this, the play of Shane Boyd will lift this team if he can continue like this, and if they can score when they get opportunities. You can't give up the ball down here and not score. They need 3 points.
Fake field goal. They needed to get to the 2.
Oh.
They only could get to the 5. Anthony Thornton was nailed by Kevin Burnett, who never took his eyes off of number 92. The flag is down.
Boy, everybody's holding their breath on this flag. Looks like it's going to go against Kentucky. I saw him point towards Kentucky, going against Kentucky. But it's great if it works, but if it doesn't work, it takes 3 points off the board.
After the play, foul is on 86 on the kicking team. After the play, he spiked the ball. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, let's go back. First of all, Dave, what broke down?
Well, nothing broke down. It's a designed play to run up there, except Tennessee well-schooled. It was designed to go right up there. This is designed to go right ahead, go up there. But it just didn't take enough time, and Burnett.
Brock Johnson let go of the block on Burnett.
Yeah, he had him for a second, but he let him go, and Burnett reacted back inside. It's a heck of a gamble, but I don't like it. You take 3 points off, you're leading 10-7. You're going to go up 13-7 with just a decent field goal, short field goal. I don't like it.
I got to tell you, I don't mind it. What do you mean? You're 2-8. What the heck, right? Jason Swain, the intended receiver. I think if this was a game day that certainly had some repercussions down the road, yeah, I think the conservative route. But on today, why not?
Well, all right, I'll go along with you, maybe. But I want to put points on the board. See, I'm a defensive player.
Buzz, what do you think?
He's playing the numbers, Dave. I mean, if you get the first down and you might have to go back and kick the field goal again, you're still only up 6. You still got the field position. You would have had even more had it not been for that unsportsmanlike.
So who are you agreeing with, me or Dave?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the numbers here.
Yeah, it's so political. That's our future senator.
Well, you know, he has a really good point. Buzz has a really good point. If they don't make it, they give the ball back there.
Nice play. Cedric Houston popped by one arm. There he is. We haven't said his name all year. It has been a disappointment for Vincent Sweet Pea Burns, but he has made 2 nice plays today.
Boy, came off the block really well, came down the line, and that's what they need out of Sweet Pea Burns. They need big plays, tackles for losses.
How about this? He hasn't even had a sack this season.
That's incredible, because he's in the backfield all the time. They need big play out of him.
And last year, Sweet Pea had 72 total tackles and 18 tackles for loss, but it has not been the same Vincent Sweet Pea Burns.
Here's where they need pressure.
They get it, and guess who? Burns let Clausen go. Ball batted in the air. Touchdown, Kentucky. Ricky Abram with the interception.
I think it was Fontaine who hits the ball. Watch this. Sweet Pea's going to come around. He's got him. Clausen just gets out of it. And then you see Fontaine, number 50. And look what I found. Wow. A lineman's dream. Again, square up, and he just gets the ball tipped. This is just, everything is going Kentucky's way. The penalties are gone that way. The stretch for the ball. The only thing that they messed up on was that field goal. Wow.
By Begley is up, and it is good. We've seen some crazy things this year, but this is shaping up to be one of the more crazier things. 17-7 Kentucky.
Did I tell you that fake field goal was a great play? Yeah. Now.
Kickoff sails into the end zone. Riggs watches it bounce out of bounds, so Tennessee will take over at the 20-yard line. But Dave, now Tennessee certainly has to find a spark. And do they need it right this second?
Well, they don't need to panic. They need to come right back out. Randy Sanders needs to take his quarterback, say, okay, look, you made a quick mistake. You probably should have taken a sack in that situation. You made a mistake, but you come right back out, stay with the game plan. This is too poised a Tennessee team to panic when they're only down by 10 points in the first half.
Well, that play was very reminiscent of what happened here a few weeks ago against Notre Dame. It ended up being the difference in that ball game. Here's Houston off the left side. Cedric Houston out to the 30-yard line. That'll be very close. That should be a first down. 10-yard pickup. Muhammad Abdullah on the tackle. Well, this is what happened moments ago as Rick Clausen gets a taste of Sweet Pea Burns, and then the ball is batted in the air by Fontaine and taken in by Abram. And then this, look at this play. Talk about similarities. Yes. This was against Notre Dame. And that was the difference in the game, is the Fighting Irish won it 17-13. Same area of the field.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing different was the number.
There's a toss sweep. Oh, great blocking. Houston to the 40, to the 42-yard line. Gain of 13 on the play, and that'll move the chains.
Boy, great pull on this play. He brings the backside. Rob Smith again. He just come around there, and they just clean it out. Watch them come out here. There they go, and they just smash him right there. Look at that. Nobody inside that hole. Houston just comes up there and just explodes with that speed. Great backside blocking by Gandy and Rob Smith.
Rob Smith SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week after his performance in Nashville last week with 10 knockdown blocks. Pass caught, Chris Hannon into Kentucky territory. That'll be a gain of close to 10.
And Dave, I like the play selection right now. You've got a young quarterback in Rick Clausen, not a lot of game experience. Don't panic him. Just keep on going to the sure things. Hand the ball off, pick up that little dart for maybe 5-7 yards on the pass. Good selection by Randy Sanders to take pressure off that quarterback.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 3-4 straight plays where they've picked up a first down on this series. That's a way to gain some of that momentum back if they picked up the first down here. This will be very close. And it will be a first down. 4 plays, 4 first downs. Not bad.
That's not bad. That's averaging better than 10 a play.
Talked to you about Rob Spittle a while ago, and Buzz has more on him. Buzz?
He's been the glue for this Tennessee offensive line, Dave. Big 310-pounder from up in Fort Thomas, Kentucky. So you know he's playing with motivation today. He's got a bad shoulder, bad wrist, bad ankle. Last week, though, he played through the bad ankle against Vanderbilt. Why? He wanted to go hunting on Sunday, and he knew he couldn't do that if he was in the training room. He's the only offensive lineman that started every game for the Vols this year. Philip Fulmer said he's been a godsend on a banged-up offensive line.
And you got to have players like that, Dave, that play through that pain.
That's just caught Tony Brown. He's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Tony Brown, the only receiver on this Tennessee team to have a catch every game of the season. We talked to Randy Sanders about that when you talk about your leading receivers, and they haven't had a 100-yard game out of this core all season long. And I asked him, I said, is that a concern, or do you like the fact that you throw the ball around? And he says, you know, it's good and bad. It's hard to get somebody to lock in on a certain receiver. Although they nearly hit the home run, Robert Meacham covered by Irvin Flowers.
Good go route on this play. What you're going to see is Meacham come off the ball. Now, this is just a sprint route right there. Flowers has got him. Look at this ball. Well placed right there. He just doesn't see the ball come it goes off his fingers. But good play by Meacham. Run that dart, get that separation. Got to look it in, though, Dave.
Well, if they don't have a 100-yard receiving today or the next couple of games, it'll be the first time since '87 they've gone a year without a 100-yard receiving game by an individual. Here's Houston. Cedric Houston down to the 26-yard line. First down, Tennessee.
Boy, nice block on the outside. I think it was Phaeton, C.J. Phaeton, number 17, who got that block. He locked the corner back inside to the right. Look right in there. There you go. Look at that block right there. That's what you call locking. Now it skips him outside. He's got some room. Nice receiver downfield also. That is really important, Dave. When you got a receiver that can come off and lock up a corner, and you've got somebody like Houston that can get that edge, that's big yardage.
That was Robert Meacham out, making a nice block. Freshman out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This drive has been pretty impressive. They have picked up nice chunks of green grass. 7th play of the drive. Cross sweep down to the 22-yard line goes Cedric Houston. Some crowd booing because near the goal line, some extracurricular activity going on as Tony Brown was locked up with Warren Wilson.
And they were about 20 yards from the play, way downfield. But you know what I really like about Tennessee? I like their play selections. I like the fact that they didn't panic. They're down 17-7. They stayed with their offense. And Philip Fulmer and Randy Sanders there, you don't see panic on them. Just see them, they're just poised. They know exactly what they can do. They don't try to ask their players to do too much. Just do what they do best.
Inside handoff goes to the fullback, Corey Anderson. Touchdown, Tennessee. 22 yards.
Boy, and what happened on that play is Corey Anderson got backside. He saw that little seam backside. He just burst through the hole. That play is designed to go up here. He sees it and just cuts right back through the inside. Breaks the tackle. Another missed tackle by Ellery Moore, number 99. Oh, explosion. Anderson doesn't get many chances to carry that football. He made the most of it.
point after. Blocked. Loose ball on the ground. But that is another block kick. Lionel DeWalt. And that will be his 6th block this season for the one individual. The 8th block kick by Kentucky this season.
See how high DeWalt will get up. He's really tall, 6'6".
17-13. Kentucky leads. Back after a word from your local stations. Kick it off after that 80-yard drive, which, regardless of the point after, that was a jam-it-down-your-throat drive by Tennessee, led by Cedric Houston. But let's go back to that point after for a moment and talk about the man who will get credit for that block, and it's Lionel DeWalt. This guy has been, I mean, something spectacular in this department.
Dave, he's right there. He's going to jump up. He's 6'6". Watch the elevation. Look at that. Look how high he is.
And, you know, he certainly has done this before. People around the league will better get used to his name. The freshman is a true freshman, but he's made some big plays. He had block kicks in the opener versus Louisville, then against Florida. Then he had another one against Ohio University, and then he would cap it off with one against Alabama. He's a great athlete, a triple jump, long jump. Also, nice basketball player. False start. Matt Huff. There is Lionel DeWalt.
Well, one of the things, Dave, is you have to get that great acceleration up in the air. You have to get that height up there, and that's what DeWalt does. He gets up about 30 inches up off the ground, and he's got penetration. You let the lineman penetrate underneath. He takes 1 or 2 steps, comes straight up in the trajectory of the ball, especially if it's a long kick. Now that was an extra point, so you think it's going to get up high fast, but DeWalt just good penetration, good coordinated play.
The penalty, first down and 15, and what was a relatively quiet crowd is now making some noise. Flag is down again before the play clock was at 3 when it was snapped, but somebody got hurt.
That's a Tennessee player down.
That looks like Justin Harrell on a play that should have even started.
Yeah, broken play. I'm not sure that, but I thought Scott Mitchell, who was a wide out on the top side of the screen, I thought he was the one that moved, but we just.
Oh, and he gets chopped.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when you're in there and you're playing in there, you could clutter. There's lots of players in clutter. You got to keep those feet up. Sometimes you get hit, you fall and stumble over somebody. That really hurts.
What's legal procedure against Kentucky, but it's a shame that he gets. That's just a tough play. Yeah. Tough play. We'll update his status when we come back. Making some noise. First down and 20 from the 10. Inside handoff. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Rock Johnson on the carry, brought down by Omar Gaither.
Now, Dave, if you're a Tennessee defensive lineman, this is the situation you love. Because you got second down, long yardage. It's almost a short passing down. You can come off. You don't have to worry about the draw. The draw's not going to kill you. If you get in there and you get that great pass rush, you got a chance for a sack. A lot of pressure on Shane Boyd in Kentucky right now.
4-man front. Burnett looks like he might be coming, but he drops back in coverage. Boyd lofts it up over the middle. Nearly had his intended target, Jacob Tamme, just overthrew him by a fraction. It was there.
Boy, it was there. Tamme came off the line. He's just going to come off the line and just seep into the inside. Right there. You see him there. Now you just got to throw the ball, but you're throwing over 2 defenders in between that 2-deep zone. Shane Boyd just needed to just take a little bit off of it. He floats it. The difference between about a 20-yard gain and an incomplete is floating it.
Well, it's 3rd down and 17. Boyd off to a good start. They'll toss sweep. Here's Harless Beach. Tennessee all over it. Omar Gaither led the way, and Kentucky will have to punt it away for the first time today.
Well, I didn't like the call. A running play just outside, that's not going to get anything. You're trying to pick up 15, 16 yards. Not against this Tennessee team. You've got to go upstairs. You've got to throw that ball downfield. Why not come back to the same play that you just ran with Tammy?
Sekurovic to punt it away. The senior has a long this year of 61, averaging 43 yards per kick.
Tennessee's going to get great field position. Should get it somewhere around midfield.
Hefney back to return. Low kick. Takes a bounce, and Hefney will get bounced at the 42-yard line. Good coverage. Drake Davis makes the special teams tackle. A 46-yard punt. And Saturday should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you down there. Here's Clausen. He's going for a home run ball and has it down at the 22-yard line. Robert Meacham. Nice throw by Clausen, right on the money.
Boy, it was a beautiful throw, thrown into double coverage. He finds Meacham on a streak down the sideline. Credit that offensive line. A lot of time sitting up there. Look at that, no pressure. Then he just delivers it just perfect. See the safety coming over there, number 2, that's coming over there. Clinton just didn't get there in time. He and Huffman had the coverage, but what a throw.
Oh, that was a nice throw. Yeah. Meacham, 16 receptions this year. Picked up 34 on that play. A couple of catches this afternoon. Clausen, almost identical numbers to Shane Boyd. Handoff goes to Riggs, drags a Kentucky defender inside the 20 down. They will mark it at the 17-yard line.
Dave, I go back to that no panic. You've got a player like Gerald Riggs back there. You've got Cedric Houston. You can run the football, pick up 5-6 yards or run. You've got Meacham out there. Clausen, other than that little mistake when he had the ball tipped, he's played well. Just got to just keep on doing what you do best. And they're coming right back in this football game.
Down to the 10-yard line goes Gerald Riggs. Trey Melch makes the tackle.
And Dave, if you're Mike Archer, the defensive coordinator for Kentucky, you can't let them just blow you off the line. You've got to come in there with penetration. You've got to do a little run blitz. We talked to him about that. He said, I'm not going to be afraid to use that run blitz because we've got to stop the run. Right now, they're not stopping the run. See him look to the sideline. He looks to Randy Sanders for the play.
Play clock at 7. Pump fakes, going for the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Brett Smith. Coverage by the senior Irvin Flowers.
And Flowers had good position on that play. Brett Smith is just going to do a drag where he is the only one that looks back as we watch Harrell come off. But again, he's just going to do a little drag out in here. And you can see he's got good position. See the position that Flowers has inside? He keeps that position, number 32 does. Doesn't allow the receiver to come through him. Good defensive play.
Gerald Riggs on the carry. Sweet Pea Burns makes that stop.
I'll tell you, if I'm Tennessee in this situation, I'd just come off the ball and just blow him in the end zone.
Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz.
Dave, Justin Harrell sprained left ankle. They've just taken him into the locker room. He's still on his way there now. They're going to ice it right now. X-rayed at halftime. Dave Rowe, the Tennessee coaches were real upset. They thought it was one of the high-low blocks. You've been the victim of those, so you can talk a little bit about what it was about. But they felt it was a cheap shot.
Well, we were looking at it right there. You see, it's a clip from the back. And that's a word that we really don't like to use, but it's a chip block from the backside, and you have no protection. I've had a bunch of them. I don't like the play. Never have.
Feet get tangled up in the end zone. A ball falls incomplete. Chris Hannon was the intended receiver. David, back to that block. We hear it every week. Coaches talk about those kind of blocks that hurt Justin Harrell, but, you know, part of the game right now.
Absolutely. You see the feet get tangled up. This is the play that just happened. The feet get tangled up with Abdullah on this play, and he just comes down. It looks like pass interference to the fans. But you're right about that play. Coaches, go see what happens is players are not protected from the backside. They're only protected. You're playing the game out in front of you. When you get hit from the back, that's where injuries happen.
24-yard field goal attempt by James Wilhoit, who was 8 of 13 in that department this year, and this one is perfect. So Tennessee adds some more points, but still trail 17-16. We've got 3:45 to go before halftime, and what has been a kind of a strange first half of football. We've seen a lot of different things occur, and perhaps the biggest shocker is the fact that Kentucky's leading by 1. Well, we'll come back to Neyland Stadium after a message from the SEC. We'll be back in practice on Monday. He was actually in practice this week, but not doing much. But he will be back and return to the Tennessee practice fields in hopes of getting back for the championship game. Here's Drake Davis. Out to the 25-yard line. Let's check back in with Buzz.
Yeah, Dave, you're right. Brent Ainge practiced a couple days. Brent Schaefer practiced a couple of days this week. I talked to Randy Sanders and Philip Fulmer before the game. They feel like he could be ready to go. He was out here in uniform. He was not in uniform last week. Today he was. He looks like he's moving well and whipping it around the ball yard. So that's just one other element that Tommy Tuberville and company have to prepare for next Saturday.
You can bet that extra dimension of Schaefer's legs. It's hard to prepare for those.
Absolutely. We saw that in that South Carolina game. He really changed the whole complexion of that game when he came in and spelled Ainge in that first half.
Here's Boyd under pressure. Hit as he throws. His tight end was in the area. Eric Scott, so it won't be grounding. Omar Gaither had him wrapped up. And a flag comes down.
Well, it was thrown towards the tight end, Eric Scott, 87. So I don't think...
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 87, an elbow receiver, could have called the pass. Therefore, pass is incomplete.
Absolutely, that ball was right next to Eric Scott. Again, see right there, that's the tight end, number 87, Eric Scott. So that's a good play. And heads-up play for the official. Hey, made a mistake. We'll call it off. No foul, no harm, no foul.
How about the pressure from Gaither, though, and Harrelson really took Boyd to the ground.
Boyd was going to try to do that little naked reverse, that little naked waggle out of the backfield. It didn't work.
Little in motion. Boyd, quick throw, far side. Holt gets it out to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up third down. Wade knocks him out of bounds.
Dave, that's what Kentucky did in the first part of this first half. They were doing that little short pass, running game, picking up 3-4 yards, mixing up. Nothing taking a lot of time. As we look at Paul Dunn, the offensive coordinator, he'd love to run in this situation. 3rd down and 2.
Co-offensive coordinator system in Kentucky. Paul Dunn and Joker Phillips has worked pretty well at this point. The quarterback draw. Boyd will have the first down to the 37-yard line, but a flag comes in. Kevin Burnett made the tackle, but a flag came in right in the middle of that line. And it will go against Kentucky holding.
Boy, for Rich Brooks, that really hurts because you picked up that first down. You're out of trouble. You're out to the 35-yard line. Now you're going to come back and have to run that 3rd down play again.
Holding. 62 on the offense. Penalty 10 yards from the spot of the flag. Down remains 3rd down.
Oh, boy, that'll take you way back after you picked up the first down.
62 is the center right there. Oh, yeah, you got to let go of him. Look, he still has him locked up there. Again, that time you got to be able to let go. That's John Poe, number 56. He was holding the middle linebacker.
7 penalties, 53 yards against Kentucky today.
Here comes pressure.
3rd down and 8. Trying to set up a screen. They do so. And I think they fell forward enough. Jacob Tamme leapt at about the 32-yard line and needed to get to the 34 for the first down, and I think he might have gotten it.
And Dave, that was a great call. You're expecting Tennessee to come with pressure, so you throw that little tight end screen, slip a couple linemen out there. Tammy catches the ball and runs for what looks like a first down. Good call under that pressure.
But you know that front four was just chomping at the bit in a passing situation to get to the quarterback.
Well, good select, too, because you throw to the tight end. He's not that far out. It's not like he's trying to get way out in the flat here. You just throw him quickly to the tight end, get the lineman out front.
Play action from Boyd. As his running back, Little. Little gets popped at the 45, which should be good enough for another first down as the clock moves to 16. We'll see if they stop it for a first down. And they will stop it momentarily. Boyd now 11 of 17 for 133 yards. That's a pretty effective first half.
Absolutely. Boyd making good play selection. Did you see that time? Stepped up in the huddle, avoided that rush, and then dumped it. Good play selection back and forth. Got to use the time management, but you remember they wasted that one timeout early in this first half.
High formation. Here's Mitchell. He's hit it midfield, dragged down by Jonathan Hefney. And Kentucky will use one of those two remaining timeouts.
And see if you can go vertical, and they've had success.
2nd and 4 from midfield. Pressure. Here's a little screen again. Here's Tammy. This play works the second time. That's the 4th catch for Jacob Tammy. Takes it to the 40. That's a first down. Gain of 15.
Now, hurry up offense. You're trying to get in position for a field goal. They've set them up 3 or 4 times with that little short curl. See if they might take one of those little curls and go down the sideline. Got one-on-one coverage with 2 deep. You see the 2 deep safeties standing back here.
8th play of this drive. Boyd over the middle. This time it's Glenn Holt to the 35-yard line. Only one timeout left for the Wildcats. 1:23. They've thrown it 20 times already today. Jake Cutler of Vanderbilt threw for over 300 yards last week.
Boy, a lot of time coming off the clock here. They really needed that extra timeout that they wasted.
Boyd throws a bullet, first down. Jared Parker on the reception. That'll stop the clock for a moment.
Now you get up on the line, make your call real quick. Don't use any time. As soon as they get the ball set and get the chains moved, the clock starts.
I just don't see the fire out of Tennessee.
I don't either. I'm telling you, I think they've been stunned in this first half. But I will say this, on offense, they've been very methodical. It's been defense where they haven't gotten any pressure.
Little trying to get the first down, and he does so and gets out of bounds. Nice play from the true freshman out of Anderson, South Carolina, a gain of 10.
Watch this out of the backfield. Little comes out of the backfield. Nobody picks him up. You got to have a broken coverage there. Hefty, number 33, is the corner. He's not supposed to have him. And how about Little? Just a freshman, gets out of bounds. Now you got 3 strikes. You got 52 seconds. You can throw to the end zone now. But the worst thing you don't want to do is throw an interception. At least come away with a field goal try.
They can get a first down at around the 6-yard line. 10th play of this drive. They've all been by way of the pass. Lobs it up, looking for Tammy. Touchdown, Kentucky! Oh, my goodness. The second touchdown catch by Tammy this afternoon.
And Dave, you said this doesn't look like the Shane Boyd that we've seen in the past. This is a well-thrown ball to Jacob Tammy, number 18. Look at this. He looks back, perfect. Gets that foot down in. That's absolutely. Again, Boyd got some pressure in his face, but he throws just a beautifully thrown ball. Look at the trajectory on it. And did you see Tammy kind of squeeze the ball and hold it up like, I've got it?
Showing our official in the corner. I got it. Going after is up and good. Tammy, 6 catches, 65 yards. A couple of touchdown passes from Shane Boyd to Jacob Tammy has Kentucky out in front 24-16. This is a team that came in averaging just 14 points a game, 115th in America.
Did you ever see 100?
Clint Ruth to kick it off. Brooks hit at the 20, stopped right there with 39 seconds to go before halftime. And let's check in again with Buzz.
You know, Dave, Philip Fulmer was really concerned about the spot that his team was in here. They know they're going to Atlanta next week. It was a holiday week. They come in a big favorite. He told us he really challenged his guys on Monday, challenged them again on Wednesday. John Chavis said the defense was embarrassed over the way it played last week. In light of all that, and in light of what's happened in the first half, I would not want to be in the Tennessee locker room at halftime.
I've been in that locker room, Buzz, and I can tell you it's not going to be any fun.
On first down and 10. Little draw play to Houston out over the 30. Brought down by John Summerall. Well, closed caption.
I would try to match up, like I said, with Swain, maybe the outside, Tony Brown, on one of those darts, see if I can get something to happen positive. Now, if you're Kentucky, you got to come after them.
Clausen swings it out to Houston. Houston picks up more yardage and then gets out of bounds. He's shy of the first down, which is at the 41-yard line, but he does stop the clock.
Yeah, but it's a long play. It takes a lot of seconds off the clock. He gets out of bounds, which is a smart play, but you're not moving the ball vertically down the field. You got to go downfield. Now, you got to give Kentucky a little bit of credit. I mean, they're going to drop back deep. They know it's going to come deep. So Randy Sanders in a little dilemma there. You don't want to throw an interception right here.
Kentucky's intercepted the ball 10 times this year. Here's Clausen. Here's Houston. He'll have the first down out at the 47, maybe 48-yard line. But conservative, I would say, would be the way to describe this with 20 seconds left. For the month of November since 1985. That's it.
I know. That's an incredible November. There you go. Now he's gone deep.
What a catch by C.J. Fate down to the 20-yard line. There's 13 seconds to go before halftime.
That's the going deep play that I talked about. When you've got a receiver that will give you an equal chance, you throw it up to him. Well thrown ball, an even better catch by C.J. Phaeton. Didn't catch it clean, kind of bobbled it for a second, but great concentration. Now they're in scoring position. This is what you want to go in the locker room.
Tennessee with a timeout left. Quick stoppage of the clock by Clausen. C.J. Phaeton bust out for a 33-yard pickup.
Yeah, just coming off the line here, just well laid up. Look at this, great concentration. Again, laid out for the ball. Just great layout for the ball, great concentration. Watch again, the ball hits his hands. He doesn't catch it clean. He kind of bobbles it, but you see how quickly he pulls it back in.
Well, he used his body very efficiently to turn and keep it from hitting the ground. And Clausen got knocked to the ground, but liked the play.
When you see how quickly he was up, running downfield, spiking the football.
Tackle's not on the line.
Clausen over the middle. Touchdown, Tennessee. Robert Meacham, his third of the season. It goes 20 yards.
That's pretty good. And he's just been marvelous. For a third-team quarterback, you just don't see that, Dave.
Out of the I formation, a two-point conversion.
Now you see him look over to the sideline, see what the play is. Now it's an audible called on the line. Once he sees the defense, now he calls the play.
Straight ahead handoff, Cedric Houston. And he didn't get there. He did not get there, and the Wildcats stuff him on the two-point conversion.
Yards off the line of scrimmage. He's got to be able to play the quarterback size.
A squib kick that will bounce around at the 12, picked up by Raphael Little. And that'll do it for the first half of football. The Kentucky Wildcats, 2-8 coming into this one, have put 24 on the board, and look at that graphic. Their last lead at half in an SEC game.
Well, this is where you make your adjustments, Dave. You've been in the locker room. You just got your tail ripped for what you've done wrong. You haven't shown enthusiasm on defense. I think you'll see a better Tennessee team come out in the second half. For Kentucky, it's do what they did because they're in this football game because they took advantage when they had opportunities.
Ruth kickoff to Hefney. Hefney hit at the 10. Good kickoff from Clint Ruth. Hits Hefney back on the near sideline, and he can only get it out to about the 11-yard line. So that's where Tennessee will start their second half. But they marched it 80 yards in 33 seconds to end the first half. And we'll see what Randy Sanders has in store for this offensive series. And you see the first half possessions in Tennessee with a touchdown and 78 yards. And then they went 8 plays and 80 yards. And really, that was like a drive that they just... I mean, right down the throats of Kentucky, but then the Wildcats stood tall, and they lead by 2.
Well, the Wildcats still believe they can win this football game. Tennessee's got to take that away from them. They've got to come out and control this football game.
Off the left side goes Cedric Houston. Ellery Moore in on the tackle for Kentucky. Cedric Houston, as we said, 75 of the 115 yards on the ground against Mike Archer's defense. First half play distribution was 18 rushes and 21 passes for this Volunteer team.
And Kentucky's done a good job of disguising their defense. They're confusing Casey, not Casey, but Rick Clausen.
The left-handed Clausen throws it over the middle. Pass is caught by Houston. He's out to the 30. First down for the Vols. Tripped up by Joe Schuler along with Muhammad Abdullah, a gain of 19.
Actually, I thought this was going to Swain at first, but what he does is just comes out of the backfield and gives it to him right there. Now, just move the ball, get it upfield. Good play selection by Clausen. Don't look to go deep. Don't force the ball. If he's open, you come off your read, find him, get him the ball. This is that audible off the line where he looks over to the sideline and actually looks at Randy Sanders, who signals it in.
Here's Houston to the 31-yard line. Second down coming up. Well, earlier this week over in Columbia, South Carolina, Athletic Director Dr. Mike McGee of South Carolina introduces the old ball coach Steve Spurrier, who will take over the reins of the Gamecock football program in the coming months. And big news around the country. And joining us right now is Dr. McGee of South Carolina. And well, Doctor, first of all, congratulations on, I guess picking up another Hall of Fame type coach. Explain to me the process, if you will, about how this went down and how you're able to land another Hall of Fame coach to follow in the footsteps of Lou Holtz.
Well, first of all, Dave, it's good to be with you all, and you have quite a ball game going on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But Coach Holtz, incidentally, was very supportive of Steve Spurrier. They've been friends, and I think it's fair to say that Coach Holtz kind of set the table for this to occur. We got the word from Coach that he was not going to continue after this year, and immediately set about. We had developed some contingency plans, and it was necessary to, we thought, move fairly quickly. And we're able to contact Coach Spurrier. Again, Coach Holtz was alert to what we were doing. The two of them talked. I thought that was very helpful. And Coach Spurrier liked what he saw and had the ability, because he was not in a particular situation at that point, was able to move rather quickly.
Well, in terms of what Coach Spurrier will bring to the table, we all know about all his success down at the University of Florida, as that pass falls incomplete. But coming into South Carolina and the situation that is there now, expectations from fans, they want to win tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
Dave, first of all, I think we're talking about the cupboard is not bare. Coach Holtz had 2 top 10 recruiting classes. Both of those classes will be available to Coach Spurrier. That doesn't mean we're there and we don't have a considerable distance to go, but we all have confidence in that Coach Spurrier is a kind of coach that he has demonstrated. I mean, after all, we're talking about somebody who won the ACC championship during a 2-year period when he was a head coach at Duke. I happen to know what challenge that represents, having served there prior to that myself. But I just believe he is a proven winner, has a kind of immediate kind of rapport with football team. I also think that our recruiting will have an opportunity to even reach new heights with his recruiting and the staff that I think he will bring in, which will be outstanding.
Yeah, I think a lot of people looking forward to that as I think Tennessee picks up the first down on this third down play. They'll bring in the chains. And Coach, I go back to old days. Dr. McGee, Coach McGee. You got so many titles. Your resume needs to shorten up a little bit. Yeah. But talk to me about Lou Holtz and what his plans are for the future and what he meant to the South Carolina family.
Well, it really is hard in words to fully appreciate what he has done. I mean, the obvious two Outback Bowl victories over Ohio State, two top 20 finishes, as I said, a couple of top 10 recruiting classes. But he also did things that aren't obvious to many. The graduation rates were consistently high. We had the highest GPA on record for football here at Carolina. As I said, I believe he really did a terrific job, was supportive, felt like Coach Spurrier was a kind of coach that could take it from the broad foundation that he has set up to a championship caliber in the SEC.
Well, the second down carry by Houston gets 4 on that. Trey Melch makes the tackle. But, as I guess last week we all saw it, and Dr. McGee, it was a tough blow for South Carolina and Clemson in the respective leagues. But talk me through the process after the fight with Clemson and how quickly you guys came to a decision that not going to a bowl game for both universities was going to be reality.
Well, we obviously consulted closely with the university administration and also with Mike Slive. I had talked to him early Sunday morning, and we were in communication throughout and over the process. Also talked to Terry Don Phillips to kind of get their perspective. It was obvious fairly quickly that we needed to move somewhat in conjunction with one another, and we're able to accomplish that.
Well, Dr. McGee, let me just say thanks for joining us, and looks like you got the man you wanted, and looks like you're heading in the right direction, and good luck in the future with the football program. And now we enter hoop season and the rest of your sports. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. A lot of excitement here at Carolina, and as always, we appreciate the great work both you Daves do.
All right. Thank you, Dr. McGee. Well, Cedric Houston is looks like Dave is taking this team on his shoulders right now.
I think he's the man that they needed because he has really lit it up here. Running hard, yards after contact. You just keep on going to him. It takes a lot of pressure off of Clausen, but this is the way that you answer. You come out, drive the football, take control of that momentum again. Now, if you're Kentucky, you got to have somebody step up. You got to have something big happen, and it better happen fast because they're on the 8-yard line.
It'll be second down and goal from the 7. Play fake to Houston. Here's Clausen. Throws to his fullback. Anderson stopped at the 1. That'll bring up a third down.
Boy, and Corey Anderson's got good hands, but his size is what's amazing. 6'3", 270 as a fullback, but he doesn't run like that. Good soft hands, looks the ball in. And when you put your head down and you come down there, you got to really drop him. But I want to go back to Cedric Houston on this drive. Clausen, good play selection. Look at that drive. Almost 6 minutes, 88 yards. You just can't. That just sets the tone for the second half.
Jabari Davis checks in at tailback. His fullback is Anderson. It'll go to Davis. He's popped at the 1. Sweet Pete Burns blew in there and blew up the play.
Boy, Sweet Pete Burns is getting penetration like he hasn't gotten. Number 98, top of your screen. Look at him just stick in there. That is a collision right there with Davis. Right there, you're going to see him on the left of your screen. He just gets inside there. Good penetration. They get underneath and stop him.
Timeout taken by Tennessee on 4th and goal from the 1. 2-point Kentucky lead. Back for the excitement after this. Attempt from 18 yards out. You shocked?
I'm surprised. I know they have that fake field goal. But this is surprising to me.
Blocked again into the end zone. And Kentucky will have it at the 20. Lionel DeWalt has already blocked a point after and now blocks the field goal.
How high can he jump? I want to tell you, I've not seen 2 blocks from the middle. Number 8 is right there in the center of the screen. Look how high he gets his hands up perfect on it. DeWalt, watch him, there he is, number 8. Now watch the elevation. Look how high he is up and gets his hand perfect. I mean, he had one hand up, Dave, hits the ball perfect.
That is block number 2 today and block number 7 this season for that man alone.
Oh, boy.
Dave, you know, you're 4th and 1, down 2.
I was surprised, I'm going to be honest with you, because even if you don't make it, you give it to Kentucky on the 2-yard line. Now they've got life to drive 85 yards, 90 yards, and not make any points out of it.
There's Tony Dixon. Dixon out to the 33-yard line, a gain of 13. First down for Kentucky. Let's check in with Dave Baker again, Buzz.
Dave, it's going to be interesting to see if this Kentucky offense can find the rhythm it had in the first half. They had 5 possessions in the first half. They scored on 4 of those, and they've been scored on 3 of the 5, and it's been a long time since they've been back out there. If that first down was any indication, they're still cooking pretty well.
We haven't seen much of or mentioned his name, but Jesse Mahalone has been very quiet today, Dave, much like last week.
Yeah.
Here's Boyd. Boyd scrambling. Now we'll run it and keep it out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. But what are they doing? I mean, what's happened to Mahalona?
Well, they're locking him up inside. They've got Jason Rollins on him, number 70, and he's locking him up. Plus, it's good play selection, doing a lot of rolls coming out of the backfield. That time you saw Shane Boyd get out of trouble. They've mixed it up really well. It's been a well-conceived offensive game plan. Kentucky has kept Tennessee off guard all day.
Well, Mahalona has no numbers today. Didn't have any statistics last week in Nashville either. Those numbers we just flashed have been there for a week and a half now. They need 55 to make some plays.
Oh, and they get a free 5 right here.
Boyd lofts it up in the air. Intended for Holt, too strong, but a flag is down. Looks like Tennessee might have jumped. Turk McBride might have been the guilty party.
Boy, and credit Shane Boyd. Hard count, draw him off sides. Get a free 5 yards, and he throws it up anyway. Again, watch.
Offsides, number 90 on the defense. Penalty, 5 yards. Down remains 7.
Yeah, you'll see it right here. Hard count, quarterback comes out, emphasizes. Now, you snap the ball right away. Good heads-up play by Matt McCutcheon, the center. When you get him in that zone, snap it.
Well, Glenn Holt down on the field. He was trying to jog back. He was the intended receiver. We'll update his status in a moment. Down and 2 for the Wildcats. Pass caught by Scott Mitchell as he got hit by Hefney. Nice grab by Mitchell, and that'll be good enough for the first down.
And Dave, one of the things that Shane Boyd has taken advantage of is the set, the defensive set. The cornerbacks are setting so deep. He's throwing underneath them, getting the completion, moving it 5, 6, 7 yards on the completion. See if the cornerbacks don't make an adjustment. I know they're both just freshmen. Well, Fellows and Hefney are, but you got to come up sometimes and challenge a little bit. That little bit of that distance is a little bit longer than it needs to be.
Play action in the pitch. It's a loose football that rolls out of bounds. It'll still be Kentucky football, but they lose 3 on the play.
Well, they were fortunate this ball went out of bounds because it was a bad toss. Right here, you're going to see the bad toss down on the ground, and it just rolls out of bounds.
Let's check in on the status of Glenn Holt. Buzz?
Looked like a cramp, Dave, but a little more serious. Pulled hamstring. They're going to ice it, see if he can get back in. But on a day that's getting increasingly cooler, a pulled hamstring is not a good thing to try to fight through.
It is a cold day, but we expected some rain. Still might get here, but so far, no precipitation. Boyd throws. Mitchell makes a man miss. gets the first down with the second effort. Scott Mitchell now, after that 15-yard pickup, is having a career day.
Dave, two things make this play. You see the distance here. That's too far. Then the rocket arm of Boyd gives him time to turn around, and he can fake out Jonathan Wade, number 4, pick up yardage. Got to close that down a little bit. Got to take a little bit more chance. 7 receptions. It's a lot to a wideout.
Mitchell came in with 21 receptions this season. You see the total offense. Shane Boyd wants a timeout. They had 12 men in the huddle, and they had to call a timeout, so they weren't penalized. So with 6:30 to go here in the third quarter, Kentucky leads it by 2, 24-22. We'll step aside after a word from your local stations. Catches this year. You want his hands on the field, but right now Kentucky will go without it. Quick handoff on the inside. Goes to Drake Davis. And Davis picks up possibly 9 on the play.
I told you that's the play that I really like on that quick hitter. I remember as a defensive player how hard that is because the play gets to you before you can shed the block. John Chavis, he's pulling out his hair for Paul Dunn. He's saying, hey, it's worked. He writes it down. See if they don't come back when they need one of those plays. That's when you come back to him. You say, hey, that 34 quick handoff worked really well. Come back to it.
Of course, Coach Dunn and Joker Phillips, the combination coordinators. Here's Boyd, little option, quick pitch. Little trying to catch the corner, does so. They were just shy of the first down, but he's with the 7-yard gain, picks it up, but a flag comes in late. Right in front of that Tennessee bench. Jason Allen might be hit with a late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul. That's tacked on to the tail end. And for Philip Fulmer, you want him to be aggressive, but you don't want him to make hits outside of the box.
After the play, personal foul. Number 18 on the defense. Penalty, half the distance to the goal. First down.
This is the run. Toss right there. Now Little just trying to get as many yards as he can. And right out there was the hit. I don't know if that was late or not. I mean, it wasn't anything vicious, but I will say he was out of bounds. I am straddling the fence a little bit ever since that fake field goal. Diplomatic.
What it does, it sets up a first down and 10 from the 12. For more play action, Boyd has time. Here comes pressure. Boyd will try to run it down inside the 10 to the 8.
Oh, mercy. Why didn't he run outside? Oh, he had a chance to get outside, Dave.
Well, the announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. Thankfully, this broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. The 3 Daves with you. Dave Neal, Dave Rode, Dave Baker. Our last regular season game, our last game of the 2004 season. It seems like we just started this in Nashville in early September with South Carolina and Vanderbilt. But here we are with a thriller in Knoxville. 2nd and 7. And Boyd will have to call a timeout, and that will leave Kentucky with just 1. Play clock was down to 2.
And Dave, the crowd knows how important this is. This is huge. Look for that dart top of your screen. See if they don't do that little post dart. Now all of a sudden Tennessee goes over.
Flags are down. This is when everybody starts pointing at each other.
Well, McCutcheon, the center, turned around. He's pointing at somebody. He said somebody moved.
Ben Wagers will come over and announce the decision.
Prior to the snap, false start, 61 on the offense, penalty 5 yards.
There he is right there. You see the defender jump towards him, and then he reacts towards him back. That's kind of a tough one. It's hard for that offensive lineman. I know he knows the snap count, but he's sitting there in his stance, and he gets that flash on him. That's tough to hold. Now you've got big yardage, 2nd down and about 12, 14 yards to go. Now it changes.
They can get a first down inside the 2. 9th play of this drive. Lonell DeWalt in the game. But Boyd with a quarterback draw. Boyd, nice move to the 5, falls forward to the 2. That'll be close to a first down. We'll see where the spot is. Boy, Shane Boyd, this is his final game in a Kentucky jersey, and he is bringing it all to the table.
Well, Jason Mitchell was blitzing right up the gut. Mitchell is coming right up the gut. There he is. And look at the block by Beach. Beach just gets over there and just knocks him out of the hole. Now you've got the hole up in there. Boyd sees it, but what a heads-up block by number 5, Arliss Beach. Again, watch it here, full speed. See how Beach comes over and just knocks him out of the way? If not, Shane Boyd's going to get smacked in the face.
And that's a first down. It'll be first and goal from the 2 for the Wildcats. That was a 12-yard pickup. And if John Chavis was a little chapped last week in his defense, whew.
Well, you know how
could
games
be tough next week.
You know how games go back and forth. Everything has gone Kentucky's way today. I mean, the penalties, the blocked kicks, that situation right there, under pressure, makes a first down.
2 tight ends in the game. High formation. Handoff goes to Beach. Nowhere to run.
Ooh.
Big orange wall. And Jesse Mahalona led the way for the Vols defensively. His first stop today. His first stop in 6 quarters.
Watch number 55. He's right there. He's just going to swallow him. Right there. I mean, he's got him. Just swallows him. 55 has got him. Now, if I'm Kentucky, I go right back. Same thing. Don't change anything. Go right back up the middle. Don't try to go wide. You lose yardage that way. Rich Brooks, don't go wide.
From the 1. Power set with 2 tight ends. Touchdown, Kentucky. Shane Boyd takes it himself.
Is this the same Shane Boyd that we've been watching for several years? He saved his best for last. Last game, senior year. You talk about leadership. All he has to do is break the plane. The ball breaks the plane. The official right on that line. And everybody is excited. Look at the pump and jump on these guys.
Taylor Begley to attempt the point after. It is up and it's good. And Buzz.
Yes, sir.
skills test. I mean,
listen, those who can. That's all I can say, baby.
Riggs will take the kick 2 yards deep. To the outside. Flag down back at the 16-yard line. Crowd wants a late hit. No flags in that Tennessee area, but there is one on the near side. And it will go against Tennessee, so they'll back him up. Here's Penn Wagers.
Holding on the return team, number 34. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, that was a pretty impressive drive by the Kentucky Wildcats. After they blocked the field goal attempt, they go 80 yards in just under 5 minutes. And that successful drive means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver.
Boy, you talk about a drive, successful drive. That was a drive. You allow Tennessee to drive the length of the field. They're going to take momentum back. You block it with a great defensive play. Then you have your offense come out and drive it back 80 yards. Just incredible, Dave.
Clausen hit as he throws, pass incomplete. But, Dave, I want to touch on this. The special teams for Tennessee has not, I mean, they have been known for some great return games, some unbelievable punters in history and kickers that special teams game this year hasn't given them that spark that, you know, it's always been something they can rely on.
Yeah, they always thought that was like the third team, equal to an offense and a defense, the special teams, but they haven't gotten anything. To have the ball on the, 7-8 yard line, you start your drive, that puts you under tremendous pressure. Very few teams can drive a ball 90 yards.
Had they driven it 90 yards last time, they would have scored. They only went 88.
That's right. But now let me tell you what it does to the defense. If you're Kentucky and you're on defense, let me tell you, when your team has just driven the ball 80 yards, you take a score, then you step up like this. Then you come up, you're playing in the backfield. There's Darrell White, number 9. You watch him get up. He comes right up in the backfield, plays off a block, tackling him in the backfield. Now Kentucky can take chances with their defense. They can come a little bit more pressure, try to get Clausen to make a mistake.
Need to mention Chad Anderson not here. The Kentucky linebacker, the junior, suffered a concussion. Did not make the trip, as did B.J. Parsons, who was not here. Clausen to throw to the outside. Jason Swain, and a flag comes in late.
Oh boy, you've just stopped him on 3rd down. A flag comes down. Now another flag comes down. The first one, I think, might have been a face mask, inadvertent face mask, but the second one's a dead ball.
That was a gain of 8.
But you aren't going to get 3 and out if you're on defense. Now you're going to give Tennessee another shot. So Rich Brooks not going to like that, if in fact it goes against him. That's the face mask and the dead ball unsportsmanlike. Oh, both of them against Kentucky. Let's see if we can see the inadvertent. There's the face mask. Good picture right there.
Well, that wasn't much of a face mask. His hand was on the face mask, but
face mask, 5 yards on the defensive back will be a 5-yard penalty.
Oh, okay. There wasn't a dead ball. Was there a dead ball penalty after
the play is over? Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Penalty, 15 yards. First down.
That takes the ball out to the 35-yard line. It was going to be 4th and 3. That is 10 penalties for 78 yards against Kentucky. Boy, that hurts.
Yeah. And now see if Tennessee can capitalize on it. You've just gotten the break of the game to get you back in it. You've got the ball out on the 35-yard line. You were going to punt it. Now what are you going to do with it?
They line up in the eye. And check off once again. Look to the sidelines and Randy Sanders.
Yeah, they come out and actually set the line. See what the defense is going to do and look over, Dave.
Houston gets a couple on the carry. It certainly has gotten cooler in this building since kickoff. And for more on the conditions, let's check in with Buzz.
Yeah, Dave, the other thing that's happened, too, is there were showers forecast for late in the day here in the Knoxville area. That rain has started to fall. It is a light drizzle right now, but it is cool. It has gotten windier, and that rain feels like it's probably about 20 degrees colder than it really is. It's going to affect ball handling for sure here down the stretch.
Thanks, Buzz. And Clausen will throw it. Incomplete at midfield, intended for Jason Swain. Irvin Flowers on the coverage. Well, in SEC football action today, the battle for the Golden Egg. Ole Miss out in front of the Bulldogs 10-3, and a final, Maryland beats Wake Forest 13-7, and a good one going on. Virginia and Virginia Tech. There's NC State over East Carolina in the 3rd, and Boston College trailing Syracuse. There's a chance there could be a 4-way tie in the Big East. And Memphis, South Florida, that is a final. Aaron's scoreboard. Here's 3rd down and 7 now for the Vols. 3-man front. And look like movement. Play on, and the pass is caught at the 45. Brett Smith makes the catch. That'll be a 1st down. Gain of 18.
And Dave, 2 things on the play. First of all, a mistake by Sweet Pea Burns, number 98. He jumps off sides, but then he stops. If you jump off sides and you're that far off sides, you go get the quarterback. You don't allow the quarterback to have a free play. He jumps off. Now look, he just stops. See him there? He just stops. Now he hustles up. But credit Clausen. Continue through the play, and he picks up a big chunk right here. Finds his wide receiver right there. Picks up a chunky yardage. Heads up play by him.
Boy, it is quiet in this building.
I know. 100,000 here, and you can hear a beep.
Houston off the right guard. 9, maybe 10. Summerall hangs on to bring him down. They'll spot it inside the 30, down close to the 29, and they'll have to bring in. No, they won't. They'll go ahead and say first down, Tennessee. Cedric Houston now with well over 100 yards, 20 carries, 121 yards today. Closed caption brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Well, Dave, time is not an element right now. 34 seconds left in this third quarter, not time. And I really like the fact that Tennessee is not panicking. Philip Fulmer's not allowing, have to go and get the big one to get back in this game. You're down by 9 points. He's methodical. He's going to what he does best. Cedric Houston, he's not putting pressure on Clausen to have to throw one to thread it in there. Randy Sanders, good play selection. Everything seems to be working. They're just down 9 points because Kentucky has played so well.
Could be the last play of the quarter. Clausen throws, passes, caught. First down, Tennessee at the 16-yard line. Robert Meacham picks up 14. Irvin Flowers on the coverage. That's the 4th catch today for Meacham. And that is the end of the third quarter as Tennessee is knocking on the door. They trail by 9 at home on Senior Day to the scrappy bunch from Lexington. Fourth quarter football coming your way right after this. It's been a while, but they lead right now. But Tennessee knocking on the door. 10th play of this drive coming up. They're looking at a first down and 10. Ball sits at the 16. Cedric Houston is your tailback. 4 receiver set. Rick Clausen in at quarterback, 19 of 31 today for 274 yards. They'll hand it off right side. Houston spins out of trouble and dropped for a 2-yard loss. Sweet Pete Burns has showed up to play big time today.
Absolutely. This is the Sweet Pete Burns that we're used to it. Burns is going to come down the line and make Houston know where to go. And you see Burns coming down the line, reacting right there. And look, he doesn't miss the tackle. A lot of times Houston will run out of that tackle.
Well, he had 18 tackles for loss last year, but so far Cedric Houston has been the man for this Tennessee team with 120 yards on the ground, Dave. He is playing inspired football.
Absolutely. Breaking tackles. You got to love his play. I'll tell you right now, 5.5 yards average. That's marvelous.
That's what he's done throughout his career, average 5.5. Catches made by C.J. Phaeton. Tackle made by Joe Schuler. But back to Cedric Houston for a moment. That's his 10th 100-yard game in his career. And last week he had 97 yards, just shy of that with 3 touchdowns. And well, the coaches, we talked to Philip Fulmer about Cedric Houston because it was about this time a year ago that people were wondering, where did Cedric go?
Yeah.
Well, not this year. It's because he's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't believe what those nagging little injuries do to you. You miss a step here and there. Boy, for Philip Fulmer, there's not a bigger down than this. He does not want to kick a field goal.
An extra point block, the field goal block today already. Clausen, little cutback. Houston needs to get to the 6, and he's left short. He's dropped at the 8.
Boy, tough decision for Philip Fulmer. You're going to have 4th down and probably about 1.5 yards, 2 yards maybe. Do you go for it? Do you try to kick a field goal? I think you have to kick a field goal. Then you make it 6 points. Then a touchdown means something. But I know he doesn't want to.
Buzz, what do you got?
It's a full 2 yards, Dave, and everybody had thought that Philip Fulmer played it conservative before. Look what's happening now.
Gosh, he's going for it.
Third in the SEC and 4th down conversions. We'll see what they do here. Pressure comes. Clausen throws, passes, caught by Phaeton.
Oh, I don't think he got it.
Summerall with the lead hit.
What a hit. They didn't allow him to fall forward, Dave.
And Mike Archer's defense stands tall.
Out to the flat. He's got to make it. What a hit right here. Look at that. Oh, what a stick that was. Carl Booker, number 10. And then they don't let him fall forward. Look at Booker come up. Look at that hit right there. Now you need help. And what about Mike Archer? He has got to be excited about this. His defense stood up on that play. That's not as much emotion as I thought he'd show. Wow.
Carl Booker. He's been a little banged up, but he's back and healthy. Just a 180-pound sophomore. Here's Boyd. He has all day to throw. Going deep. Just off the fingertips of Jared Parker. Jonathan Hefney on the coverage.
Dave, go back to that play. I know we talked about the Philip Fulmer not wanting to as we look at this replay here, right off the fingertips. Boy, that could have been huge right there. Again, going deep. Just got to stretch out right on the fingertip. Nice throw that time. A little bit of time to sit back there. But what about Philip Fulmer not going for that field goal? He's had 2 kicks blocked. Wow.
Out of the eye. Handoff inside. Gets a yard maybe. Well, our Texaco third quarter stats were a little late in getting those. We've had some excitement, but here we are with our third quarter stats. Tennessee winning by 100 yards in that department, but when it was time to stand tall, Kentucky did so.
That is the series. To me, that's the play of the day. When you can stop them on 3rd down, 4th down, and what, 2, Dave? Wow.
Kentucky, 50% on 3rd down conversions today, 3 of 6. They look at 3rd down and 9. Boyd over the middle. Pass is caught by Mitchell. He needed to get it out to 17. He is well shy of that, and Hefney will get credit for the tackle, but Kentucky will have to punt.
Well, and Tennessee's going to get the ball back because they made a good defensive stand, got some pressure on them, good coverage there by Hefney that last play, brought him down. Now they'll get the ball back in midfield.
Only the 2nd punt today by Kentucky. Kurovich to punt it away.
And if you ever needed a big one, you need it right now if you're Kentucky.
Hefney back to return. Snap is good and the kick is good. A booming spiral that sends Hefney back to the 37 and knocked down at the 35. Drake Davis was hit with his 3rd special teams tackle, a 50-yard kick, a loss of 2 on the play. The 5'7" running back playing big on special teams. 2,000 or 3,000 Kentucky fans that are here made quite a bit of noise. Looks like a little double pass. Phaeton going deep. Pass is caught by Meacham at the 15, down to the 12. That'll bring the ball nation back to their feet.
Lateral all the way, starts the play. It's a lateral. A lateral has to be behind the line of scrimmage. Now look at this. He just lines up and throws it as hard as he can to Meacham on that little crossing pattern. Man, oh man. You talk about getting momentum back into the football game. This is just as hard and as far as you can throw, Dave.
Well, Phaeton threw for more than 700 yards and 10 touchdowns as a quarterback in high school. Then Virginia Beach, Virginia. And well, the last 2 drives, they have been in the same spot, and you see a couple of goose eggs to show for it. A blocked field goal. They didn't convert on 4th down.
2 13-play drives and they get nothing. Wow. That's like a 4th of a ball game if you're on offense.
It is. You get about 75 plays. Here's Riggs. Hit and dropped. Darrell White. And I will say this about this Kentucky defense. They may have led the country in missed tackles. That is not an official statistic. But today, they have missed maybe a half a dozen tackles, but they have held on when they needed to.
Well, missed tackles are a lack of enthusiasm. Any coach will tell you that. You tackle with enthusiasm. You come up and just rip them down. I can promise you that Mike Archer has got some enthusiasm. If you've ever talked with him, you know the kind of person that he is. And he's got his teams inspired to play.
Nice play fake by Clausen. Fires. Touchdown, Tennessee! Tony Brown!
Talk about getting back in the football game. Roll out, strong side, just come out, make a little play fake. Then you got Tony Brown in the corner of the end zone, right as you go right for the line, throws a strike. 81's going to just go right out there. And look at this strike. Perfect pocket pass. That ball is thrown as well as you can throw it. Right where he needs to catch it. On his backside towards the sideline.
This kick is not blocked. One after is up and good. 31-29, a 2-point game. 9:39 to go from Knoxville. Vols will kick it off and turn it over to their defense, which has been stymied somewhat by this Kentucky offense. Short kick that will fall at the 19. On the run, Raphael Little out over the 40, still on his feet to the 45 and the 46-yard line. Another nifty return. Jason Allen finally brings him down. So Kentucky in business after the 24-yard return by Raphael Little, the true freshman.
Boy, great field position. Last time they were backed up, didn't have that field position. Now they're out almost at midfield. Now, we need a little bit, if you're a Kentucky fan, I should say, you need a little bit more of that offense that they have run. Not like that last series. Need to come back, run the offense, mix it up.
There is Robert Meacham, and we show you after the touchdown, he is the first 100-yard receiver for the Vols this season. And had he not done that, you'd have to go back to 1987 to have seen that. Incomplete pass intended for Jared Parker, a little bit low on that throw. And Dave, that last Kentucky touchdown drive was pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Using Tony Dixon's speed to get outside, finding their wide out Scott Mitchell, big yardage. When they needed it, Shane Boyd came up with a huge play to get him down in there. Then that quarterback draw, where he gets all the way down to about the 2-3 yard line and quarterback sneak. That's what they need. Mix it up a little bit, come back with that kind of an offensive game plan.
Off the left side, Raphael Little takes a big hit, but gets 4 on the carry. Kevin Burnett makes his 7th stop.
And Dave, with as big a hitting as going on out there, not many fumbles, not many, you're just not seeing them mishandle the football. Very clean football game.
Kentucky with 131 yards on the ground. The Volunteers at 168 as we look at 3rd down and 5, and the crowd making some noise.
Got a lot of success with that tight end, Tammy.
Boyd dropped at the 37. First sack of the day for the Volunteer defense. It's Carlton Neal, his 3rd of the season.
Boy, it was a long developing play, and it gave Neal great time to come around the horn and get in. Top of your screen, number 46, all the way around the outside. Good rip move right there. Great rip move. That's where you rip up underneath that shoulder, get to lift him up. And Aaron Miller just can't hold on right there. He just has to let him go. Heads up play by Carlton Neal, the senior.
A loss of 13. And a timeout taken by Tennessee. That'll leave the Vols with just 1 timeout. Kentucky with 1 timeout. We'll come back. Stay with us.
And Jason Dickerson, the Kentucky long snapper, got dinged up a little bit. He's out. 62, Matt McCutcheon in there for the first time with the rain coming down.
Good snap by McCutcheon, and another good kick that will send Hefty to the 12. Makes this man miss. Flag down. Couple of more flags down. And that is not a good sign for Tennessee.
No, it's not. It's going to be the hand in the back, blocking in the back. And it's back at about the 10-yard line.
Another good kick by Sekurovic, 51 on this one. And Wagers figuring out where we will mark this flag off from.
Well, they need to put it on the 12. See, that way they can drive 88 yards again, because Tennessee has driven 88 yards and got nothing out of it.
Well, I don't think it'll be hard for that man to get his club motivated come practice next week.
Number 18 on the receiving team, block in the back, penalty, half the distance to the goal. First down.
They will mark it inside the 5-yard line.
There's the call right there. The hit in the back. See, that was clearly he had beaten him.
I didn't see the second one.
There's Jason Allen on that play, Dave. Boy, this is tough. You're a 13 quarterback. You've got to come in and drive 94 yards and get a score.
He will throw from the end zone. Long out pattern caught by Meacham, whose numbers go up and up. Dave, how was he so wide open?
Well, the cornerback turned and ran on the tail end of the pattern. He gave him a fake deep right of your screen. Look at the time Clausen has to stand back there. And all of a sudden, what Meacham did is gave him that little fake long. Look at the close. There's the corner right there. 32, that's Flowers. He was about 8-9 yards off. He thought he was going deep. You can't guess. You got to play your keys.
27-yard pickup. Well, what is your key?
Your key is that you come up and play with them man-to-man. If you're out there in the corner like they are right now, that's man-to-man coverage at the top of your screen. Same thing down here at the bottom. Man-to-man coverage. You got to cover them.
Riggs gets maybe 5 on the play. Muhammad Abdullah with the tackle. Well, football fans, register for your chance to win $1 million in the Bell South Kick for $1 Million contest. One lucky family will be given the opportunity to kick for $1 million during halftime of the 2004 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Log on to jpsports.com to register and then start practicing your field goals. Bell South listening, answering. The drizzle continues here at Neyland Stadium. Handoff goes to Riggs, and if he got to the 39, it'll be good enough for a first down. It'll be real close to that first down marker. Joe Schuler with the stop.
When you start talking about a wet ball, the texture of the ball changes a little bit. Riggs hasn't been in there as much as Houston. He's certainly a capable back. You see him wipe that visor off. Wants to make sure he gets that handoff. You stick that ball in there. Make sure he has a tough hand. Don't want to fumble in this situation. But you got a lot of time. 6:54.
As the rain comes down, Ellery Moore helped off the field. Ellery Moore had a bad ankle, suffered and left the game in the first half against Georgia. We'll see if he's all right. We'll get an update. And Buzz, how heavy is that rain down there?
Getting ready to say 2 words you would never hear would be meteorologist Dave Neal. This is not a drizzle. It has become a solid heavy rain. It's really going to affect things. It's affecting vision and affecting how well these guys can hold on to the football.
I will say this, Buzz, there is a meteorologist in Birmingham named David Neal. So
okay.
There is somebody. Not me. Not me. The intended receiver was Brett Smith, and I don't even think he saw the ball.
No, he looked off the play. It just looked as if he was just running a pattern. Got to help your quarterback out. But right now, Clausen, good play selection, going back and forth. Randy Sanders, he can run the ball when you've got a Houston and a Riggs. You can pick up that 6, 7, 8 yards that you need. 2nd down and 10, that's almost a sure passing down. Tendencies will tell you.
Big loss without Ellery Moore.
Yeah,
for Kentucky.
You lose one of your stalwarts rushing the ball. This is when you need Sweet Pea Burns to step up.
Here's that delay inside handoff to Houston. Dancing around, gets a couple to the 41. Brad Booker stayed home, made the play. And That play has worked a couple of times, and you didn't, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, this is a big down right here. You've got, it's almost a sure person. You got to pass the football. 3rd down and 7-8 yards. You got to pass the football. Not a lot of pressure on Clausen right now. See if they can drive off and get that little dart. It's been open right over the middle. That slot wide receiver. This one right here on that little dart inside.
3rd down and 8. Clausen to throw. Over the middle. Picked off at the 45-yard line. Carl Booker will be dropped at the 47 by Robert Meacham. His 2nd interception today.
I think Clausen saw the pressure. I think the pressure's what gave it. You see 98 come in there? This is the play before, excuse me, but when he saw the pressure flash in front of his face, right here, you see people starting to collapse in the pocket right there? He just throws it up. Good anticipation. Booker just steps right in front. Now, you talk about pressure. Pressure is flashing of jerseys. See how he sees those jerseys? And Booker steps right in front of him, reads his eyes.
Handoff off the left side. It goes to Raphael Little. Flag down. My goodness, I was just about to comment. Rick Clausen was 23 of 37 for 314 yards. And that'll back Kentucky up, but you look at his numbers, not bad, but that's a throw. It shows you that fine line. If that ball's 6 inches one way or the other.
Holding number 88 on the offense. Penalty, 10 yards. Down remains 1.
You're absolutely. He just tried to force it into coverage. He saw the flash. Now, Kentucky, the last 2 drives have been terrible, and then you compound it. You get a big penalty here. Now you're putting pressure on your quarterback, Shane Boyd. There you see that it's not very good. Not very good 2 last drives.
6 plays and a minus 2 yards average for that 2 series. But here they line up in the eye. 5:32 to go. Loose football. The scramble is on. Kentucky came away with it. It was in the arms of an orange jersey.
Just talked, as Dave Baker talked about that rain changing the complexion of the game. It does. Bad handoff by Shane Boyd. He puts it out there. He doesn't even get it.
I don't think Little
the back, yeah, he didn't even think he was going to get it, Dave. You're right. Look at this. Little and Shane Boyd saying, hey, that's a call. That's a freshman mistake.
True freshman talking to a senior.
Wow.
It's amazing that Tennessee didn't come up with that football. Rock Johnson finally fell on it, the fullback.
I think in this situation, keep the ball on the ground, punt it back to him. But he's in his shotgun. Watch and see if Shane Boyd doesn't run.
The quarterback keeper. Now you're looking at 3rd down and 20 or so. 1st down is all the way down in Tennessee territory at the 42-yard line, and the clock moves, and both teams have had to burn some timeouts. And boy, they wish they could have back now.
Oh, I hope to tell you. Now, if you're in this situation, maybe they can use the legs of Shane Boyd, a little rollout where he's got a run-pass option. Get out from underneath that pressure of Tennessee. If you're Tennessee, keep him in the pocket. Flash in front of his face.
Lionel DeWalt, the talented freshman at the bottom of your screen. 6'6", 220, but they will run the option. Another loose football. It's on the ground. Tony Dixon falls on it.
All I can say is, Kentucky, what are you doing? You've got the ball 1st down on the 47-yard line, and now you're going backwards. These are very risky plays. You can't play like that. Look at that ball just laying there. And look how quickly Tennessee gets back to it. That is poor selection on plays. And for Philip Fulmer, he finally gets a break.
Zakurovich has punted the ball nicely today. He's had back-to-back 50-yarders. Jonathan Hefney back to return. He stands at the 32-yard line. This is a wobbly end-over-end kick. And not a bad play by Hefney. He comes up, makes the catch so it doesn't hit the ground and bounce deeper into territory. It was a 35-yard kick, but Hefney made a solid play. And now Tennessee comes over, Dave. 3.5 minutes to go. They need 3 for the win. Possible.
Yeah. Boy, what a turn of events. Kentucky had the ball, Dave, almost at midfield. That was incredible. Now, Clausen, he's made a mistake. You forget about it. You wipe it out. You go right back to what you do best. You've run the ball. You've got 3.5 minutes left. He's got good stats right there. You see the 2 touchdowns.
Once again, 2 interception game, though.
Yeah, but you forget about them in this situation. He needs 60 yards.
Their best starting field position this half is right now. Gerald Riggs makes a man miss. Riggs popped out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Oh, when you're a backer and you've got that kind of coverage, you have got to make that tackle. You've got to come out there. This is just a little dump to the outside. Joe Schuler's got him, right? No, he allows him to outrun him. You've got to get to the outside. You can't let somebody with that kind of speed. Look at the yardage they picked up already, Dave.
Gain of 14. Ellery Moore checks back in. He left. He was injured a couple of series ago. Now first down and 10. Clock's at 3:23. Lawson over the middle. Knocked out of there. Intended for C.J. Phaeton. Sumrall on the coverage.
Boy, Sumrall was almost on his back, just like a glove. Stuck that hand in there and ripped the ball out. 44, watch him right there. Go across. He picks him up right here. Look at this, right on the back. Gets the hand in there. Ooh, that might have been a little bit early. And the fans look up and see it on the screen and go, they let you know what they thought.
What'd you think?
I thought he had his hand on him. I did. I'm a defensive player.
I'm tired of you sitting on the fence.
I'm not sitting on the fence anymore.
3:18 to go. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass.
If you ever needed Sweet Pea Burns, you need him now.
Here's the handoff. Goes to Riggs. Gain of 5 on the play. Riggs 8 carries now for 36 yards today. Aaron's scoreboard updates you in the third quarter. Low scoring affair. Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Maryland beats Wake. Virginia Tech in the fourth, up by 2 touchdowns. NC State putting it on East Carolina. And how about that? Syracuse causing havoc in the Big East. Iowa State needs a win. That's in the fourth quarter if they want to play in the Big 12 title game. What a mess this last weekend could be.
Here comes Kentucky. They're bringing pressure.
Clausen to throw. Pass is caught. That's Phaeton knocked out of bounds. They'll spot it at the 34-yard line. And that will be a first down.
And Dave, credit Clausen again. Good play selection. Safe pass on the dart coming across the field. Safe pass, not going to be intercepted. And he's not panicked. 2:30 left. He knows what he has to do.
I got to tell you, if I'm Philip Fulmer, I want this thing in the end zone. I don't want to have to attempt any kind of kick.
Not today.
On first and 10, 4 receivers.
He's got to hurry.
Play clock down to 3. They get the snap off. Quick hitter. Down to the 20-yard line goes Tony Brown, a gain of 13. And that'll bring up another first down.
Boy, missed tackle here. No pressure on the quarterback for Kentucky. Look at this. They bring some pressure, but it gets picked up right there. You can't leave that slot wide open. Missed tackle there. 6, 7, 8 yards after the tackle. Kentucky just sitting back now. You've got to be aggressive. You got to come after them. If you're Tennessee, just keep doing what you're doing. And remember that you always have Cedric Houston back there.
Traditional 3-4 look from the Wildcats. Clausen keeps it. Takes it to the 16-yard line. Darrell White stayed at home and made the play defensively. The clock will now move under 2 minutes to go.
Boy, if this comes down to a field goal, you're going to hear 100,000 people gasp.
Well, Kentucky hasn't won in this series since 1984. They won it 17-12. In the 100th meeting of these two schools, coming down to the wire. Play clock at 5. As Clausen makes an audible. And he gets it off. Here's Riggs around the right side. Riggs down to the 11. Well, they'll spot it at the 12, and he's 2 yards shy of the first down, and the clock continues to move.
And I almost get the feeling that Philip Fulmer is playing for a field goal. This is surprising to me. I think he go down and attack him.
They have one timeout remaining, both teams with just one timeout. And the clock now goes under a minute. It's the 8th play of this drive. Line up in the eye. Riggs is your tailback. First down, touchdown! Gerald Riggs, 12 yards out, and Tennessee takes the lead.
Just about untouched. This play has worked so well for him. He avoids one person, just darts back in there. It was Booker who flashed on him. And Mike Archer just says, oh no, look what's happened. You can see the distraught on his face. But I almost got the feeling that Philip Fulmer was playing for that field goal. But he doesn't have to worry about it now.
Tennessee takes their final timeout. That's Tennessee's first lead since it was 7-3 in the first quarter. Well, this is just one more in a long line of tight finishes for the Tennessee Volunteers. It has been down to the wire this year for Tennessee as the Vols have won 5 games by a total of 20 points. They beat number 11 Florida 30-28 on a 50-yard field goal by Will Hoyt with 6 seconds left in that one. The Vols then had 5 sacks, and David Green's pass fell incomplete in the end zone on the final play of the game as the Vols upset number 3 Georgia 19-14. And what a game that was in Athens. And then 1 week later, freshman Eric Ainge took the Vols on an 83-yard touchdown drive in the 4th quarter to beat Ole Miss 21-17. The very next week, Alabama's Spencer Pennington threw an interception in the final minute deep in Vol territory as the Crimson Tide lost 17-13. And then last week, the Vols had a 5-point lead against Vanderbilt, but this time Jake Cutler throws an interception about 2 minutes left as Tennessee escapes with a 5-point win, 38-33. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Dave, Tennessee took the timeout. They looked at the scoreboard. They're up 4. There's no sense in going for the 1. If they get a 2, then if Kentucky were to score a touchdown and get 6 and miss an extra point, you're still tied. That's why they're going for the 2-point conversion now.
Thank you, Buzz. A handoff. Goes to Riggs. He's in there. Excuse me, Houston for the 2-point conversion. And that makes it 37-31. We will come back for the final 38 seconds after this. 37-31. The Vols jump out in front by 6. Just 38 ticks left on the clock. Will Hoyt to kick it off. Drake Davis has had some solid returns today. And Will Hoyt will send a line drive that's batted down, and who's got it? I think Kentucky fell on top of the football, and they did. Justin Haydock will get credit for the recovery. So Kentucky takes over at the 35-yard line.
Got to find his wideouts. You can throw in between that seam at 15, 18, 20 yards and hope to break one, but you got to go deep. Don't dump to your backs. You've got one timeout if you need it, and they're going to need it with 34 seconds. Now the big boys are going to come after you, and all of a sudden Tennessee drops into a 2-deep zone 20 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Here's Boyd trying to set up a little screen. Ball's incomplete, looking for Jacob Tammy. 30 seconds left. You know, I sit in this situation, and How many times has it been flip-flopped on Kentucky over the years where they've had the 6-point lead or the 3-point lead and somebody comes in and puts the dagger in them?
We'll never forget that LSU one, a game that you did a couple years ago.
See the emotion on Rich Briggs. He knew his team had a chance today. Three-man front. Tammy in motion. Setting it up again. And
why it's not working is because they're coming right down his throat. The big guys, Harrelson at 6'2", 6'3", got those hands up. McBride, he's 6'4". They got the hands up, and he's trying to dump the ball over top of them. You either got to throw through them or lob it. And I'm just surprised. You got to go downfield. That's a little screenplay. That might get you 15, 20 yards, but you need 50, 60 yards. You got to break one. Go deep.
I think if they're thinking is if we can get 15 or 20, 2 pops in a row, next thing you know, we're standing at the 30-yard line with a couple of good looks at the end zone. Boyd's pass. Incomplete. It hit Maurice Marchment right in the numbers, and he just flat out dropped it.
And you know what's amazing? He had about 20 yards. Look at this pass. Well-thrown ball, and he just drops it. A lot of time right here. Had nobody around him. All he could do, he just was going to step out of bounds, pick up 20 yards, have another chance. Now they sit on 4th down.
This is it. Literally for the season for Kentucky. Tennessee plays another day. The Wildcats will wait till 2005 unless they can convert here. Boyd being chased. Has a lot of time. Throws. Intercepted. Corey Campbell, the sophomore, with his 3rd interception of the year. And Tennessee survives for the 2nd consecutive Saturday.
Boyd gets a lot of time right here. He's going to come out of the pocket over here. Strong side. Now look at him looking downfield. You see, watch this good read. Right here, just come up, get that hand up in there, play the ball. That's what you can do when you're playing that prevent defense.
Shane Boyd will finish his career, but let me just say that I've seen him play some football, and I've never seen him play at this level that he has today. He'll finish 20 of 32 for 218 yards, but Shane Boyd played his heart out today, as did a lot of the men in the white jerseys today. What a football game, Dave Rowe, to wrap it up. Tennessee trailed for most of this game, but a 12-yard touchdown run from Gerald Riggs with 38 seconds left was the difference. Philip Fulmer has now beaten Kentucky the Volunteers have beaten Kentucky 20 consecutive times. 37-31 is our final. We will come back to Neyland Stadium, have more. Stay with us on JP Sports.